after 9 a.m. on Wednesday, March 12th. Time for our weekly meeting of the Logansport Board of Works and Safety. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Franklin.
Here.
John Miller.
Present.
Chris Armstrong.
Here.
Approval of minutes from the March 5th, 2013 meeting.
I have read them. I'd make a motion we approve as presented the minutes from the March 5th, 2013 meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Passes on a vote of 3-0. Approval of claims in the amount of $261,950.30.
I've read them. I'd make a motion we approve as presented the claims in the amount of $261,950.30.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion?
None.
Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, passes on a vote of 3-0. Under licenses, approval of licenses, there are none for consideration. Are there any changes to the agenda?
None.
Hearing none. Visitor comments?
None.
None. There's no old business for consideration. Under new business, we have a request for curb cuts at 4 different properties. And I think we'll do them one at a time in case there's any question or in case there's any dissent on any of them. First one is at 1426 Erie Avenue. The contractor would be NIPSCO. They're going to retire a gas line that feeds that address. Owner's name is unknown. Is it this one getting ready for demolition, Bill?
Hey, it's one of the properties that's on the list, yes.
Okay. And we don't know who owns it?
We know the owner of record that's on file at the auditor's office. I think this is a request by NIPSCO to retire service because it hasn't been in service, so it's not the actual owner.
Okay.
Requested anywhere again, so it's just going through their system and cleaning up inactive.
Okay. I'd make a motion that we approve the application for curb cut to retire gas service to the address at 1426 Erie Avenue.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, passes on a vote of 3-0. I would assume same thing, 942 Garfield Avenue. It's a request for curb cut by NIPSCO, unknown tenant, 41 feet west of the description, west of the east right-of-way line of Garfield Avenue. Same circumstances here? I would make a motion that we approve the curb cut for 942 Garfield Avenue.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, passes on a vote of 3-0. Next, 1109 Erie Avenue, another request for a curb cut by NIPSCO for the same reasons. Is there any discussion? I'd make the motion that we approve the curb cut application for 1109 Erie Avenue.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, passes on a vote of 3-0. And last, 429 First Street, same thing, request by NIPSCO to retire a gas service for non-use. Is there any discussion? Yes, sir.
Making known that NIPSCO, the street department, once these are all passed, that we will be available to them for maybe barricades or any such help.
Certainly, we appreciate that.
The street or something like that.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there any more discussion regarding 429 First Street?
None.
Bill, I would ask you to coordinate with the street department to make sure that after the curb cut takes place, the street is repaired to its original condition and repaired properly so we don't, years later, deal with a collapse.
We'd also like to ask them, NIPSCO, if they would notify the proper emergency personnel that when they do that street, that if there will be a closure that will cause any hindrance.
Okay. Thank you very much. We appreciate that too. Is there any more discussion regarding 429 First Street? Make the motion that we approve the curb cut as requested.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, passes on a vote of 3-0. Reports, building commissioner is excused today, he's due on the
You've got there's a submission for review by Sonia Long.
Based on the advice of legal counsel, we don't need to take action on that, it's just part of the report. Building commissioner's report is due on the first Wednesday of the month. Code enforcement officer is still off. He will be returning next week. Superintendent of Public Works has submitted a report. And everything appears to be in order. Is there anything you'd like to add to it, Phil? Yeah. Is the pressure on this week? Okay. Did you call the boys out early this morning?
I got them going as early as I could,
Yeah. Did you have to call them in before 7? Yeah. Everything appears to be in order. Is there anything you'd like to bring us up to speed on? Okay. I make the motion that we accept the report of the Superintendent of Public Works, Street Department, as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Passes on a vote of 3-0. That is the Street Department portion. Cemetery portion is also here. Bob Bernhardt is here in case we have any questions, but I've reviewed this report as well. It looks pretty standard. You guys are doing a good job up there. I did notice that most of the snow had melted. I took a walk yesterday, about a 55-minute walk through the cemetery, and it looks as good as it can for this time of year. I know you guys are busy, especially with the soft ground. It's taken more time. But everything appears to be in good order up there as well. I would make the motion that we accept the cemetery report as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passes on a vote of 3-0. Chief of Police has submitted his report. It's a week early. He gets extra credit. Okay, Chief's report would show that the month of February they traveled 25,965 miles, 1,081 incident reports, 107 adult arrests made, total of 93 reported accidents. Everything appears to be in order. Anything you'd like to add to the report?
No, sir.
Any questions for the chief? I'd make the motion that we accept the chief's report as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, passes on a vote of 3-0. Thank you, chief. And fire chief, he's due next week. You'll have your report next week, Mark? Okay, parks administrator, Jan is due this week, and she has submitted her report. I didn't get a chance to review it, but it's okay. The packet came yesterday, and I had a chance to look over the other stuff last night. Do you have any idea when you're going to open the restrooms? Is it sometime in April usually?
Yeah, usually
Yeah.
after the last hard freezing, we generally make that about April 15th. If
Mhm.
it looks like it's going to be sooner, we'll get them open as soon as we can.
Well, I wouldn't hold my breath on that.
What is the washout at Lower Spencer Pavilion?
When the ICM went through, it washed out a lot of
Oh,
snow
the
and
wash
stuff.
out.
I mean,
Okay.
It was all covered in water. It didn't go over the picnic tables, but it got up to the base of the big pavilion down there.
Mhm.
And it's surprising that it didn't do more damage than that. If you look at that
Oh,
piece
yeah.
of property on the west side of the Davis Street Bridge, it's just covered and littered with
Yeah.
chunks of
The
ice,
ice is
and rocks,
amazing, yeah.
stones. Question about the father-daughter dance. What does the Parks Department's role in that?
We sponsor, it's our event, we sponsor it.
Didn't it start out with like the Girl Scouts or?
I don't know where it started, but we've been doing it since I've been here for
It's a
sure.
big deal.
But yeah, it's gotten bigger and we have a really good attendance, and we ended up setting up so we had 2 different dances on the same night. It just,
Mhm.
one for an hour and a half, we clean up and get it all set again, and then the second one, and it really helps us get as many people in as we can. So,
Yeah.
And where did you do that?
at the Memorial Home.
Okay. And your expenses, was there any income to offset those expenses?
That's what, well, yeah, they pay $15 a couple and, that
Oh,
helps
I
us.
didn't read it correctly, so that's what you made over expenses, I
Yeah,
see,
mhm,
okay.
yeah, so.
Well, thank you.
So that's good. So, well, while I'm here, I wanted to point out that I've been working with the Better Health Cass County, and they are going to do a health fair September 20th, and I'll be coming back to you with more details, but we'll need to do street closures and electricity and all that stuff, because we want to do it down there at Little Turtle on Melbourne Avenue, and so, I mean, we've got time, but I just wanted you to be aware that that's coming up.
And what was that again?
It's a health fair or health expo, trying to get different people to do demonstrations like Zumba or yoga. We'll do a tent with all kinds of ways that people can be tested, their blood, their blood pressure, we're even getting the foot clinic from the First Assembly of God, well, Lifegate. So we're trying to get as many different groups involved to do things that will help us focus on our health. So that's a pretty big deal, and we're looking for a nice turnout for that. So the other thing I wanted to just point out too is we've been working on Adopt-A-Spot programming. So far, I've got about eight different groups that are interested in doing Adopt-A-Spot areas. They're going to take those spots and make them pay attention to their weeds and putting in flowers and things like that, and cleaning them up when they need to be cleaned up. So we need to do signage for those people, but I'm real excited about getting this going. So help our load a little bit, I hope.
Good report. Everything appears to be in order, and I can see that you're busy. Thank you, Jan.
I make a motion to approve the report of the park administrator.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded to accept the report from regarding the Logansport Parks and Recreation Department. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Passes on a vote of 3-0. Are there any board member comments?
None.
I would ask all department heads to stick around here for just a couple minutes after the meeting. Don't run away. Is there any miscellaneous business, including ADA Section 504 compliance and concerns, or any other matters not already considered? Hearing none, we would entertain a motion to adjourn. All right, we're adjourned.